What up? What up? Welcome into Sports Money, and you guys are ready to rock here with Pregaming. Excited to share with you guys the card tonight. It's a small card, tight. I think there's some value to be had out there. And shout out to everybody. Oh, I see how dark it is. Oof, it's dark in here. Dark in here. That doesn't really help, does it? The sun went down. It looks like it's about to rain. So let's see what we can do to get this cash out of the way before the rain comes in. Appreciate everybody rocking tonight. Hopefully you guys had fun last night. We had a live stream out there on Tuesday, and we were out there celebrating this Edmonton Oilers victory. Or maybe it was just me. We did talk about the over 5.5 last night. That cash. Baseball was not pretty early yesterday. It was definitely a difficult start. Good finish to the day, but we got work to do today to make it back up. So let's do just that. Appreciate everybody coming in with us, hanging out, spending time, getting on the live streams, hitting the thumbs up buttons, retweeting the show, showing the support is much appreciated. Appreciate all you guys and girls coming out here to spend time figuring out what we need to do to go cook the books. It's a big deal out there now. The dog days of summer, I'm pretty sure they're here. It's hot as hell outside today. There's a small sports card. I mean, this is what they mean when they say the dog days. But we do have extended NHL playoffs, so that will be a lot of fun talking about the Edmonton Oilers as they roll back 2,600 miles across the North American continent to get back to Edmonton. But look, today we've got Major League Baseball. Today we've got the WNBA. I've got one play in the WNBA. I like the spot. I'm pretty excited about this spot. You know, I didn't give out the WNBA spot yesterday. There's a mix-up with Billy Briz, and I got him the wrong link. But that being said, it was a casher. So I'm still feeling pretty good about what's happening in the WNBA. Let's see what's going on with you guys out there. Smash the thumbs up button. You guys know the deal. Grab a pen and paper. Lots of stuff to write down. Not just here, but the trends, the data, the information, and the plays that the chat shares. Best damn chat in the business. Sharpest damn chat in the business as well. I'll say that. You know, a lot of folks, some of these shows throughout the podcast out there will have their commenters on. They don't even acknowledge them. What the hell? Missing the best business to be had out there. You guys bringing in props, parlays, sides, totals, futures. Makes it so much fun to talk back and forth with you guys offline. We'll get the DM from X, getting in the show and sharing the work that's going on. And of course, guys, make sure you put your best bets in the chat so we can talk about them. And let's do just that. I see our guy Joe T's rocking and rolling. First guy in, ready to roll. That's Joe T's deal. He's got the Mets and the Rangers over 8 tonight. Interesting spot. Choosing to fade the gamblers first glance with this Mets and Rangers game. The Mets have been impressive. They got themselves, 8 straight wins? I think that deal was since Grimace threw out the opening pitch. I guess. If that's what it is, that's what it be. But it is an Andrew Heaney day on the bump, so you know he's very vulnerable and likely to puke up runs just on his own. Maybe he covers that total out there. Joe T, thanks for coming in. Thanks for sharing. Deer Slayer Ski in the house. Hey, Mikey. Hey, everyone. Got buried yesterday. Today we make it back on the Twins and Royals today, and we'll start a few parlays closing out with Magomedov this Saturday in the UFC. It's going to be an early UFC. So let's be ready for that. We're going to live stream. Of course, you guys know the deal. Make too much money not to be live streaming during these UFC cards, but it's early. Just make sure you get your chores done early. Friday night, maybe you got to do some chores so that you can play and gamble with us on Saturday. So be it. I know I'll be in that similar situation. There's my guy, Picks from Dave in the house. He says, like button has been pressed. Best of luck, everybody. Good to see you. Picks from Dave. He's got chat privileges, commenting privileges back there. It's good to see him rocking with us today. We had to get that fixed yesterday for our guy, Picks from Dave. Sancho's in the house. He says, Mikey, Guardians, Mariners under 7.5. The Jays money line, the Rangers money line, the Astros money line, and the Nerfy in the Astros game. You know, Sancho, I like that card. And I was thinking about a Nerfy today. I was thinking, where do I want to try to wedge one of those in there? And it might very well be that Astros game. You might have nailed it right there, my guy. I appreciate you sharing, and I may have to jump in there and tackle that as well. What up, David Wallace in the house? He says, what's up? Let's get paid today. Oldie says, what's up, gang? Marlins team total over. What a run we've been on. Yeah, I started off fucking firing this morning. Man, what a great start it's been today, really. The only spot that I lost was the Washington Nationals first 5. And I used my 2-up token. The 2-up promo's back. I used it on the Nationals. That cashed. We'll take that cash. I think it was plus 165. Plus 165. I think they're up 3-1. Doesn't matter. Already got the money. Let's roll out there. JPZ. What up, motherfuckers? Let's go, JPZ. It's good to see you. Ken Wood in the house. My guy, Ken Wood. Hope you're doing well, buddy. Good to see you out there. Oldie says, JPZ, I see you, G. Hope all is well your way. Tarek B says, Big Mike, I had a great night last night. Today, I got killed in the Euros. Need a Hail Mary. My Nats over is in the shitter. Yeah, it's a tricky spot today, that Nats game out there. Gonzo says, what's up, everyone? Been a good day so far. Let's keep cashing. Let's pray the Nats hold. Let's go, Gonzo, man. We're having a firing day. I know you started off firing. I started off firing. Let's see if we can keep firing. Let's put all our ammunition on the line here and see if we can't get this cash tonight. Good to see Gonzo out there. JPZ says, Oldie. And there's Winner's Circle dropping in here, giving us his play of the day. The Fever and Caitlin Clark over 29.5 points, rebounds, and assists. Wow. Ballsy. Brazen is Winner's Circle, jumping in there, embracing Caitlin Clark and the over 29.5 points, rebounds, and assists. Winner's Circle. Good luck to you, my guy. Thank you for sharing. Robert Dixon's in the house. He's rocking out there. Twins money line, Mets money line, parlay at plus 200 out there. Beavis is in the house. He loves his Raising Canes, man. Good on him. Oldie says, my DGen weird bet of the day. I'm on Montero for the Rockies. I think he gets bat to ball at home. There's Ramon Scott in the house. The ministers from the Public Investment Fund request you to watch the UFC card this week or else. Yeah, I'm assuming that's what happens out there in Saudi Arabia. I don't have any personal experience in Saudi Arabia. It just strikes me as a place where it's a national mandate that you're watching the UFC this weekend. Nicholas Handy's in the house. What up? Marco Carrasco says, Que pasa, Mike? What's up, Marco Carrasco? It's good to see you. He's taking the Nerfy in the O's game. How about that? And he says, today will be a Mountcastle blast in the late innings. That was like yesterday. Wasn't it yesterday that Mountcastle blasted it in the late innings? Big day for Garrett Cole. Big day. You know, they snuck him in here in Rochester for that rehab start with the I think it was against the Red Wings. Anyhow, the place was packed. It was packed. They set an attendance record. This is just 4 days ago, maybe 4 days ago that he was here in person throwing the heat. I think he mowed everybody down too, if I recall correctly. Everybody was jacked up about it. They kind of kept it low too. They snuck him in, and it was like a fucking parade of 20,000 people in a minor league stadium. Crazy. Nicholas Andy says Santander. That's right. That's who I knew it was. It was one of them guys, right? Santander, Mountcastle, or Rooshman, I guess is the other guy, right? Marco says, called the Santander Jack yesterday. Good job, Marco Carrasco. Let's get to work, you guys. You know the deal. Lots to do, little time to do it. By the way, let me thank personally Mr. Gokster at Gokster99. Released his golf video yesterday, guys. He's giving you outright leaders, top 20, top 30s, top 10s, first round leaders. And he broke down the course really magnificently, talking about what to look for. We've got a short out there now on YouTube. We'll clip another one. I think we'll clip one talking about the just his recap there. I think he went through his top 10 and 20s towards the end in a pretty expeditious fashion. So we'll get that out there for you guys tonight. But that tournament is tomorrow. So you're going to want to get that golf action rolling. You know, a great, I think he's got some really nice looks, some 75-1 bombs out there. Good, worth a watch if you haven't done it. And tonight, MMA Jeff and Subhuman Gaucho and I will be recording First Strike. It'll be the third edition here as we talk about fighters in Saudi Arabia. I'll tell you, I'm going to come in there with a pick tonight, and you're going to want to get on it fast because the line is getting steamed. I expect it'll be around minus 200, maybe 195 by the time we get to the actual fight itself, and it's a prelim fight. So, going to want to stay tuned for that. We're going to be working all night to get this stuff out to you guys. And Mel's in the house. She says, "Hi, Mike." Hi, Mel. It's good to see you, Mel. Thanks for coming back in, hanging out with us. I don't know. Beavis with his fucking Raising Canes, man. That shit's awful, dude. It's awful. I don't get it. Beavis. Anyways, let's talk about tonight's card, you guys. we got some options here. I think we got quite a few options to go out there and blast on, and I'm going to do just that. So they did bring back the 2-up coin or the 2-up promo at DraftKings. So I don't know why they took it away. It seems like the best damn thing they had rolling. Maybe they got buried. Maybe that's why they got into that position. But let's open this card up. Let's talk about this Cleveland Guardians 6:40 p.m. Seattle Mariners and Brian Woo coming into town to play the Cleveland Guardians and Tanner Bibee. I don't care. I'm rolling with this Cleveland team. I'm double dipping this spot here. We'll talk a little bit about the numbers. You guys know the deal. You know what I'm struggling with here. It's this fucking mouse. All right, we got this thing opened up as a -130 for the Cleveland Guardians. Impressive considering they, just took that big L yesterday. And big thing about this opening number, Brian Woo, when you look at what's going on with this Guardians team, they play behind this guy. He's got himself a 3-0 record on the season with a 1.07 ERA. This line opened at -130. It's moved to -148. 78% of the bets and 53% of the cash on the Guardians. Then we look at this total. This total's gotten jacked. They got 98% of the bets and 97% of the cash on the over 8.5. It's down to 7.5. Down to 7.5. I don't understand it. It's going to be a gunner, I guess. It's going to be a run and gunner. I know our guy in the chat talked to us about his best bet, his favorite bet being the under. This Guardians team, they lost yesterday 8-5. They went 1-2 against Toronto. They won the opening game of the series. Then they lost 5-0, then 7-6. So it seems like it's a cluster bomb for these guys. Things happen in a pack, in a fashion where they'll get 3 or 4 runs, 5 or 6. Then they get nothing, and they get pretty quiet out there. I think they're back in the right track, though. Being at home now, that was their first return game yesterday, Seattle and Cleveland, after back-to-back road trips in Cincinnati and Toronto. So settle back in. Now they're back at home. And then we look on the other side, the Seattle Mariners team's ripped off 4 straight wins. They swept that Texas Rangers team. We talked about Texas being vulnerable in Seattle. We got some money in that series. There was a 5-0 shutout the last game of the series. The start to see him open up yesterday and actually put the boots to ass was impressive. It was impressive. At the end of the day, though, for me, Seattle's a bad road team. Give them that win. That's fine. But 38-51 are they over their last almost 90-game sample on as road dogs. They don't play well as a road dog. It's impressive to see Brian Woo with his numbers, and yet after the win and the streak that they're on, they're benchmarking this game with the Guardians being a good home favorite, a good size, not necessarily a good home favorite, but a good priced home favorite. They're north of that -150 price tag. You look at teams here, we've got the Guardians in a spot where they're a 50-11 spot as a favorite if they lost the previous game and their opponent blew a lead in it. Kind of a situation where, the bounce back. It kind of speaks to the number that I'm seeing out there on the line, 50-11. Also, another spot, 26-4, off a loss with 10 or more hits. When they were hitting, it's not that they're not seeing the ball well. And this goes back to that cluster effect that I talked about with their batting staff out there. Should be able to get the job done. I know it's Brian Woo. I think we'll probably see that lower scoring spot there. But last but not least, as I was looking at this thing, Cleveland, talk about being on a losing streak. This is a perfect fit for these guys. After a 3 or more game losing streak, they're 8-0 in that next spot out there. So I think all signs to me point to this Cleveland team here. I took the -1, get the juice down on that thing. But what I was also able to do is same game parlay that thing back up to 8 from the 7.5. So I kind of try to bring a half of that run back in there just to sit on that whole number of the 8. Give me the Cleveland and the under 8 at +175. And the -1, that's a reasonable price tag of -105. I can get down with that spot there. I think that's a good opportunity to get it done. Beavis says, it's my favorite restaurant. Beavis, you talk about fucking Raising Cane's more than the guys that own Raising Cane's talk about Raising Cane's. Mel says Tanner Bibee over 6.5 Ks out there for Mel coming in there with a little K prop for us to get paid on that heat. This is my DK promo down to $10 from 100. Oh man, mine was hefty today. Mine was not $10, but you must be slaying them on that heat. You're bringing the heat. That's exactly what's going on. See, they took it away from me for I don't know, like 2 or 3 days, 3 days maybe. And then it came back today and it was beefy. It was enough for me to get excited about it. Juggler 23 says it's hard to get buried when you're allowing $25 on the up to promo. Well, I guess it depends. See, mine wasn't like that today. I did get down like at the end of last week when they last put the promo together. I was down to like $25 and it was like arguably it wasn't even worth my time. But it started off. I think I was up around 250 and I was there for a minute. This one came back at I think it was 200 today. I think it was a $200 spot for me. So I don't know. Maybe they've seen what I'm doing in baseball. Let's give this guy a break. Let's go. Jay Winans team total over. It sounds like I think he's talking about this Cleveland game out there. Winans says, but Marlins +1 is what I got. Is that for tomorrow? Didn't the Marlins played already, right? They played earlier. I cashed on it. I was happy to get that money. Let's go. Beavis says, Guardians money line. I put a ticket on Binions. I'll eat tenders and drink. We'll make sure you get the Texas toast and the extra dipping sauce is what everybody raves about there. There we go. Juggler 23 coming in here. I knew he was going to bring the heat for us. Teams playing on the road that scored 2 runs or fewer in their last contest are 1,432 and 1,868 and down since 2019. Teams playing on the road that scored 2 or fewer runs in their last contest. Well, it's got to be Houston, right? It's got to be the Astros. They got shut out yesterday, and they're on the road. We'll be talking about that game here momentarily. Kelly V says, Nerfy, Toronto, -124, under 8 in the Oakland game. And the first 5, White Sox money line -132. She says, here we go. Yesterday, 11 games competitive. Winners won by 1 to 2 runs. There we go. Kelly likes Bybee as well. And Joey Marinaccio giving an LOL. I'm not sure what he's laughing at, but he's laughing. He's having a good time. Here we go. Juggler 23, the WNBA. Wise Guy plays the Mystics +5.5. And the Lynx and Dream under 163.5. Look at this. 24-16. 8 games over the Mendoza line. The Mystics and the Dream under. Let me write those down. Let's roll. Darius Moore says, whoa now, family. And Jay Wyman says, Mariners +1.5. I see what he's saying there. I got you. Jay Winans. Good to see you, man. Let's go. Let's get this money. Rob McMahon says, smash the like button for Mikey Money. Please do that, you guys. That's all we ask you to do out here. Smash that thumbs up and take some notes. Take some notes on what these guys are sharing with you. Ways to get paid out there. Darius Moore likes the Royals -1. And the run line, it looks like, out there. Nasty Nate, a.k.a. Celtics gonna win, a.k.a. Celtics did win. Nasty Nate says the Red Sox first 3+1/2. Sporting some new hardware is Nasty Nate. Darius Moore likes the Royals -1 and the Red Sox money line. I got you now. Yeah, that Red Sox game was a little tricky for me. You guys know my disdain for Kevin Gausman. But Brian Bellows' numbers haven't been earth-shattering out there. Let's see what else we got. ZC33 says 30% home run probability bet on FanDuel out there as well. And Jay Peasy, the greatest baseball bettor in modern history. Pete Rose said in Major League Baseball, bet the streaks. I try not to jump in front of him. It's a good theory. I like to be on the beginning of a streak. It's hard to catch him. At what point do you jump off him? Joey Marinaccio says, Nasty Nate, where have you been? Haven't seen you around the last few days. He was rocking with us last night. Let's go. ZC says the boost. I got you. And Joey Marinaccio giving us WNBA plays. Lynx -9.5. Aces -6.5. Mikey, you got any WNBA? I'll be talking about that Aces game. I like that Aces game quite a bit there. We've got some returning star players from injury and another interesting line move there. Oldie says, JPZ, I had a chance to bet a Pete Rose autograph bat. Came back the next with the cash, and it was gone. Heart still broken. Oh, bye. I see what he's saying. Bye. It's hard enough for me to read, you guys. It's hard enough for me to read. Juggler 23. Today's Juneteenth equals MLK famous speech. I had a dream. Bet the dream in the WNBA for 5 units. I kind of like that angle. I didn't think about that. Where's Billy Briz? Billy Briz will love that one. Let's go out there. Nasty Nate says, I'm around where I'm needed and wanted. Well, we need you and we want you here, Nasty Nate. Welcome in, you guys. Let's go. Let's get back to action here. Let's talk about this next game. What do we got here? So that's a double dipper for me to pop this game off with this Cleveland team. Look, they get in the middle of these series. I'm not entire. I know that we didn't hit the parlay with the Cleveland and the Minnesota spot yesterday. Minnesota did come back to win. Not entirely convinced those weren't the right spots to be on here. And I do like this Minnesota team again to get the job done. It's another double dipper for me. We look at this game. It opened up as a minus 172 favorite down to minus 162. But again, I think it's line stabilization because the Rays side has only moved a cent from plus 144 to 143. 88% of the bets and 90% of the cash on the Minnesota Twins. Then we look at these totals. This total started at 8. It's dropped to 7.5. 97% of the bets and 97% of the cash on this over. When we look at the starting pitcher report, we got Joe Ryan rolling out there with a 3.24 ERA. He's 5-5 on the season. Taj Bradley, 4.23 ERA. 2-4 is Taj Bradley out there. Woo! This is a spot I get really excited about. So predominantly all the trends that we talked about yesterday for the Twins are back in play. They're now 12-0 this season after they win where they allowed 5 or more runs. We talked about that yesterday. Tampa was up early too, and they're back at it again. Also, there's a nice little 21-0 trend rocking right now. Has to do with what the Twins do after they score 6 or more runs. They dump the truck. We talked about this yesterday. They just keep firing. They're a strong home team. They're on a 21-8 run on their home diamond. And Tampa Bay is just not in a great position, I don't believe, right now. Why did I go with this route here? Minnesota -1 at minus 120 was the way to, again, for me, the margin of victory for these guys, 3.33 runs. I also added this parlay. I didn't want to take the Minnesota first 5 -0.5. I guess I probably could have. I was trying to keep the units down a little bit here, trying to just maintain a little bit of building status here as we move towards the weekend. But let me just look at what this first 5 -0.5 is. I mean, it's minus 110. It's not terrible. Ultimately, I decided to turn this thing into that plus 115 spot because if we do have a 1-run win, then my Minnesota -1 pushes, right? But then I looked at this Minnesota first 5, Minnesota full game. I expect Minnesota to win this game. Let me start there. And now let me pick apart Taj Bradley right now. What did the Tampa Bay Rays do with Taj Bradley's last 7 starts? They lose. They're 0-6-1. Taj Bradley's last 7 starts. He's also getting smacked. He's allowed 19 total hits in the first 5 of those 7 starts that he had out there as well. So they're hitting the ball pretty well on this guy. They've scored 6 total first 5 runs in Bradley's last 7 starts. They're just not winning. It's not enough to get the job done, but I'm not going out there at minus 175. I mean, can you imagine what would the circumstances have to look like that you decided to go drop even a minus 160 on a first 5? I mean, it's not a sure thing. There's no such thing as a sure thing to be laying out on a minus 160. We do know that the Twins can hit. We've seen Tampa Bay show that they can hit. Instead of taking the -0.5, I chose to turn this into a plus 115 spot. It's Minnesota first 5, Minnesota full game. That means they do have to win the first 5. So it's essentially like playing the first 5 -0.5 and then the full game on the money line if you haven't played it like that before. I think that's a good opportunity for us to take the better team, the stronger team that's been showing that they can run. They're showing they play well at home. All the boxes kind of check and point to get it done. Nice. Gonzo says the Nats win at home. Yeah. I also had the plus 1.5, which ultimately seems unnecessary now. Joey Marinaccio says, gotcha. Now I get why. Kelly D says, WNBA, here we go. Vegas lost to Seattle at Vegas like 2 weeks ago, Friday. Vegas -6. Atlanta sucks first half. So first half, Minnesota -5. Indy just beat the Mystics recently as well, -2. First game now -5. Under is the lean for Kelly V out there. Darius Moore says, O's and Yanks nerfy. Cleveland and Seattle nerfy. Parlay. I like that. Big O, what's up, Big O? It's Sports Money, a.k.a. Money Mike. I'm all in. Let's go, Big O. It's good to see you. Darius Moore says Twins and under. And Morgan Spooner says, Taj Bradley looks so good before this past injury. He hasn't looked right at all this season. Great look, Mike. Well, we'll see. We'll see if it's a great look. We gotta win it. But I think it's a great opportunity for us to exploit this pitcher and try to play the numbers game a little more creatively instead of going after this thing. The ROI is going to be that much stronger, which means that's more money that we get return on our investment. We don't want to sit there and bank the shit out of this thing at minus 170s and then watch them end up puking it up anyways. Not the spot we want to be in for sure. Let's talk about this next spot there. I see Juggler 23's trend. It does concern me a little bit. I think I got the counterpunch to that, though. We'll see. You guys tell me what you think here. I am involved on this Houston Astros team right now. It's Garrett Crochet. Look, you guys want to play these Crochet games and the Brian Wu games. I'm buying on Patrick Corbin. When everyone else is talking about it's Patrick Corbin Day. That's the guy I am. You guys know me long enough to know that that's where generally I'm going to roll. We look at this line here. It opened up at minus 118. It's now minus 115. 69% of the bets and 93% of the cash on the Houston Astros. Big cash coming in on the Astros. Then we see the total, and this total is dropping as well. It's gone from 7.5 to 7. This is almost the case across the board. I almost wonder if something's wrong with action because, if you remember back in the beginning of the NBA playoffs and the NHL playoffs, all the totals, like the total numbers were down. We couldn't get cash flow on the totals. At first, they had nothing. Then a couple of days later, they had everything but the totals. Now it seems like everything's juiced to the over, and all these numbers keep dropping. So this number's gone from 7.5 to 7. Yeah, we've got 72% of the bets and 68% of the cash on this thing here. And look, it's Crochet. I got it. 3.16 ERA, 6-5 on the season. You got Hunter Brown on the other side at 5.01 ERA, 3-5 on the season. Interesting situation between these guys here. For me, I'll tell you, we look at the numbers. We saw the White Sox won yesterday. It was a big White Sox win. Of course, the day I don't give them out, they end up coming out there and getting the job done. And that's the way it goes. But, from a total perspective of this team, there's still piles of dog shit. Win one, lose one, win one, lose one, win one, lose one. They just can't put two of them together in a row. On the other side, the Astros are in a similar spot. Win one, lose one, win one, lose one. The Astros are trying to radically implode, I think, their offense there. They're eating contracts. They're moving in a different – they've got Verlander now on the injured disabled list out there. But yet with Crochet and all the hoopla about this guy, they're still a minus 118 road favorite. Now down to minus 115. Let's see if that's still the best number. 115s, 116s, 117s are the best numbers that are out there. First five's juicy. White Sox, first five. I can see why that makes sense. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to lay minus 137, minus 140. I wouldn't even lay minus 125. Maybe I would. I don't know. I'll tell you what I'm not doing. Not laying the half a run here. Houston can certainly get hot at any given time. They just got to get these bats working. And, we got a situation where we saw what happened yesterday. We saw, I just moved my numbers with this team. But we look at Hunter Brown. He shit the bed his first start of the season. His ERA is still trying to recover from there, but he does have a 1.42 ERA his last 3 games. He's playing much better than the way his numbers show and the way he started this season. And yet Crochet, he's also got a 1.42 ERA his last 3 starts. So between these two pitchers, again, this is one of those spots where if you looked up Team A versus Team B, not Crochet versus Brown, would you be laying minus 150 on Garrett Crochet and these White Sox? Just everything's blind. It's in the blind. It's just Team A and Team B, player A and player B. There's no fucking way you're dropping this kind of number when these guys are so competitively balanced and these two teams are dog shit. Now, if you look at what the Astros are doing out there, they're gobbling up lefties. Well, I wouldn't say gobbling up, but they're definitely playing better against lefties than we see the White Sox are playing against righties right now. They're got a 2.61 out there. The other side of things here with the Sox, they're hitting around a 2.14 right now. The big number for me is the bounce back. They saved it. We talked about the blown load theory. You scored too much, the next game it hurts you. Well, they didn't score at all this last game. And when you have a road favorite after a shutout, they're 51-16. It's pretty simple mathematics. 51-16 opportunity. A low price team. Fuck Garrett Crochet. That being said, I see Mel says, over 17.5 outs. I expect him to go deep. I do think that's a good opportunity, but there we go. Juggler 23. I'm on Garrett Crochet's under 6.5 strikeouts out there. Both of those bets can still hit. I mean, they're both practical for hitting. It just has to do with Crochet not having his A game today, but still being able to make it happen. Jay Peasy says he got the Astros at minus 112 at Bet Online. I like that number, Peasy. Let's go. Juggler 23 says Mariners, Guardians on a Nerfy. What up, Line Time Sports? It's good to see you, my guy. Good to see you. And Morgan Spooner says, if you're in the Sox, just take the first 5. They tried to make Cannon go a full game because they couldn't trust the pen last night. No way they pushed Crochet's arm for a win. That's the angle that I was looking at and thinking, I like this bounce back spot, Morgan Spooner. I think this is that opportunity where they'd be stupid. They'd be foolish to let this guy go out there and gas him. So I like this Astros team. I like him quite a bit. I like him in the bounce back spot. I thought about the minus 1.5, by the way. Let's see what that looks like here. Because I do expect a multi-digit win from these boys. Oh, shit. Let me see. Let us see. Let us see. Minus 1.5 is around plus 155 right now. Not mad at that whatsoever. But it's one of those spots. How cute do you want to get at minus 115, minus 112s? I think there's plenty of juice in there. There's plenty of meat still on that bone to get it done. JPZ says the Astros are 14-21 on the road. I'm not betting them. 51-19 and a bounce back. 51-18 or 51-19. What did I say? 51-16 after a shutout spot there. We'll see what happens with that game. I do like that. It's just a single play for me, just a single straight opportunity to get that cash out there. And speaking of my guy at Wine Time Sports, don't adjust your TV sets just yet. Yeah, we're doing it. We're going out. We're getting after it here. The Brewers and the Angels. We look at this line, how this thing's gone out there. It opened up as a medium minus 152 favorite for the Brewers. 85% of the bets and 90% of the cash on the Brewers. The lines moved 28 cents in favor of the Brewers. Cash coming in, correlated line movement. And this total's on the climb from 8 now to 8.5. This might be the only total of the day where we're seeing it. It's now even down. More cash coming in on the over in this game. 94% of the bets and 93% of the cash on the over. We've got Anderson with the LA Angels with a 2.58 ERA. And there's Peralta. Freddie P, 4.38 ERA. I think it's picking the spot where you're going to fade this guy. That's what it comes down to me. We see that's going on here. The Angels 1-1 now in this series against the Brewers. They did just come off of that spot in San Francisco, but they've been playing some strong ball. They figured this shit out now that they got rid of Mike Trout, and they got to figure out how to make this lineup work. And they've been improving their metrics specifically against right-handed pitching. They gobbled up lefties. Now they're doing much better, 40 points better against righties in the last 10 days. On the Brewer side of things here, 3-1 their last 4 games. But I guess the question is, what do you see with Peralta? How do you see Peralta going out there and striking? We talk about his ERA. Definitely not the Peralta of yesteryear. I know that they've played well for this guy, but talk about the last 3 performance. Peralta. I talked about his ERA, the 4.38. His last 3 starts, 7.9 ERA for this guy. He's leaking runs, leaking them everywhere. And you're telling me you're going to drop a minus 180? Blind pick these 2 teams, Team A and Team B. Now you look at Anderson, 2.58 ERA. He's hovering around a 3 his last 3 games as well. I just talked about the improvement in the numbers. Milwaukee's hitting 211 versus lefties. The Angels are hitting 264 versus righties. The Angels, 12-0 on the run line. If it's a line longer than minus 110. And then lost the previous game. Interesting spot. 12-0 opportunity. The plus 1.5 for me, it's a double dipper. It's the plus. I didn't go with the first 5. I don't want to be wrong and see fucking Peralta shove it right in my face. I did want the full game, though. I thought, at the plus 158 and then the plus 1.5 at minus 108 with that 12-0 spot. How about this one? I mentioned it earlier. The 12-0 run line when they're in a situation where they lost that previous game. How about Wednesdays? We don't get too many weekday stats out there. They are the best run line team in Major League Baseball on Wednesdays at 10-1. And you look at these Brewers, they are 2-14 on the run line when Peralta pitches as an away favorite against this shit team. Shit team defined by sub 500. 10-1 run line, 12-0 run line for the Angels, 2-14 run line for the Brewers, specifically with Peralta. I might have to go back and reevaluate this first 5 angle, because I think I might have to get down on that now, the more I talk about it. But I got it split up accordingly out there. Let's go. Wine Time says these young guys have been fun to watch from the Halos. Yeah. He says, Wine Time says, I'm an Angels fan, Mikey. Yeah, hell yeah. If you're going to take them, then I have to, since I'll be watching. I backed them in game 1. I'll take them and play. Fuck yeah. Number. Fast Freddy. Morgan Spooner says, Fastball Freddy is due for a good game. Everyone's starting to believe in the Angels. This guy's not a pitcher you're going to expose with a weak lineup. We can agree to disagree. Their metrics have improved. This weak lineup's metrics have gotten better. And Freddie Peralta's numbers are getting worse. He may be due, but at minus 180? Not for me. We're going to rock and roll to get it done. Juggler23 says, Trisha M and I licking our wounds after yesterday's Oilers-Panthers game. Not me. Not me. Told you guys. If you watch the live stream, I hate when people say that. I told you. But if you watch the live stream, I said to these guys, what's your betting strategy when the Oilers go up 3-0? And they all laughed. Oilers went up 3-0. At least we talked about it. I think they got a plus 3.5. I think they got a plus 2.5. I don't think anybody got the plus 1.5, but it was still a fun game, man. We got that over at, really, it was like halfway through the game, the over cashed. So good spot yesterday. Let's roll on, you guys. Last spot for me in the WNBA tonight. Small card, but I think it's got opportunity. It's got potential out there to get us paid out there. And yeah, this is the spot for me. The WNBA, I saw our guy talking about it, and I am in alignment. I did write down some of these other spots there. Specifically, I want to go back and look at this dream under, because I do kind of like that number. If we look at the X's and O's, or the numbers here from the, of course, we got no cash flow on the total with the Dream and the Lynx. I do see it went from 162.5 to 163. The Lynx open up as minus 8.5 favorites. They're now 9.5s. 66% of the bets, but only 6% of the cash. So big money coming in on that Dream at plus 9.5. The game I wanted to get invested in here is the Storm and the Aces. We have 79% of the bets and 75% of the cash on the Storm. We look at a total that's climbed 5 points. It's gone from 167.5 to 172. Now to this point, this is where I talked about the line variance here. What the hell's going on when you look at these two teams that just played and Seattle handled business? Seattle Storm 9-5 on the season. The Vegas Aces struggling at 6-6. Now that we know the Vegas Aces have dominated this WNBA, so you got to take a deeper dive. When you look at the line functionality against the way that these two teams just previously played, makes you scratch your head. Was the home court that big a movement? No. The variance to me is the numbers and who's coming back to this game. Both these teams have prolific offenses. They're the number 1 and number 2 offense in the WNBA. So we should see points. I think that's the disadvantage for the Storm in this game, because the big challenge here, we're going to see that there is the return of Chelsea Gray. Chelsea Gray should be coming back. She has not played with this Las Vegas Aces team since game 3 of last year's finals. That's the big spike in this thing here. Aja Wilson, Chelsea Gray. Can they out there and manage the personnel that this Seattle team puts together? I think so. I think this big number tells you everything you need to know, knowing that these two teams just kind of popped each other, and it was Seattle that was victorious. Love to see the Steam report talking about it as well, and I'm jumping in. I'm taking the Vegas Aces for a late-night WNBA special to go in line with me watching the rest of that Houston Astros and then starting in on the LA Angels out there. Let's go, you guys. I appreciate everybody rocking. That's going to do it for us tonight. Joey Marinaccio says, hell yeah, Mikey. Aces minus 6.5. Let's go. Nasty Nate says, except when you were drunk and got me to take the Panthers money line. LL. You couldn't hear the sarcasm. If you're talking, assume you're talking to me, Nasty Dave, because I was telling everybody to take the Florida Panthers money line. But there was definitely heavy sarcasm in that conversation yesterday when I dropped it out there. So let's go, you guys. Kelly V, Wine Time Sports, Nasty Nate, Joey Marinaccio, JP's. He says the Angels 7-4 on a Wednesday. All 4 losses at the Big A, though. Okay. JP's, he likes Yelich, Rise, and Ortiz, the only Brewers hitting lefties the last 10 games. Yeah. These are all great reasons why I think when you dig deeper and you look at these numbers, I get it's Freddie Peralta, but like Morgan Spooner said, he's due for a good game because he's had shit games out there. Let's go. Shout out to you guys, Morgan Spooner, Sancho, Juggler 23, Jason Torres in the house. There we go. Look at this parlay he's got there for us. Just took the Stros and the Twins at plus 196. I'm going to have to get in there and tail a little of that action. You guys brought some great heat today, man. Love the plays you guys are on. I wrote some of these down that I'm going to have to go back and check these lines out as we get rolling. It's going to be a busy night tonight. We got ourselves the taping for First Strike. Go out there. We're going to have 3 breakdowns, 1 in the PFL, 2 in the UFC for Saudi Arabia. You're not going to want to miss it. Make sure you go out, subscribe to the channel, turn your notifications on when we drop content like we did yesterday, Golfing with Gokster. Tonight's going to be First Strike. And you guys know there's more on the horizon. We just need you guys to show the support, hit the like and the retweet, support us as we grow this thing. We're trying to give you guys more winners, more opportunities to jump in, get cash. We're giving cash away like crazy. We will start the Saturday show, or we will have in the Saturday show, the $25 giveaway. Went back and did the notes. I did see the folks that picked the right winner in the main event in the UFC last week, because we crossed over 300, got themselves eligible for $25 giveaway. So we're going to work on getting that stuff ready for you guys right now. I can give you the list. I'll tell you the list of who made it too. Let's go. I got it right here since we're talking about it. Let's go. I know Dana Delp's on there. MMA Jeff, Barney, Matt Barn got there. Craig Wilkinson, Fopatashi, Keith, each and every stride, Ice Viking, Jesse, Dale Pick, and Thomas K. all picked the right winner. And will be entered in the shop for $25 on Saturday stream. And who knows? We might even have more. It's going to be a lot of fun, you guys. In the meantime, good luck with your bets tonight. Make sure you guys keep subscribing to the channel, helping us grow and build. Hit the thumbs up button on all the content we put out there, and we will bring you guys more winners. Good luck with your bets tonight. Let's get that cash.